Okay, so my 5 rows of peyote stitch for my bracelet. Now I'm going to pick up a contrasting color. This would be considered row 6. Okay, so row 6 is I'm going to pick up a contrast color and I'm going to go through my first bead sticking up here on the edge. This is going to be my turquoise bead. Now I'm going to pick up one of my main colors and go through the next bead sticking up. And I'm just going to repeat my pattern of picking up a contrast color, which is my turquoise, and going through the next one sticking up. And then picking up one of my main colors and going through the next bead sticking up. Contrast. And then my last one will be a main. Okay, so I have, doing it this way right now, I've got my 3 turquoise and then I have my 3 gray ones now sticking up. So for rows 7, 8, and 9, we're going to repeat doing the same thing we did. So we'll start with our contrast, come through the main bead sticking up here. Then we'll do a main color. And one thing that I will tell you guys is that I'm using a 4-pound thread. I don't normally use 4-pound thread, but I have started liking it a little bit better. I'm using it because I'm using size 11 delicas, and I'm going through these delicas a couple of times. So that's the reason I'm using this, this 4-pound fire line. The reason I like the fire line is because it's already waxed, so you don't have to worry about waxing your thread or anything like that. So it just works out really, really nicely doing it this way with the fire line. And we now carry the smoke and the crystal clear in the fire line in the 4-pound. So that was row 7. So I'm going to do row 8, starting the same way, picking up a contrast. And then a main. And I'm just repeating, contrast main, contrast main. And if you get confused as to what you put on last, just kind of pull your thread back there so you can see the last one I picked up was a gray. So I'll pick up a blue. And then I'll have a gray. And a blue. And then my gray. Now, like I said, if you get confused as to which row you're on, start back here at the bottom and count the beads that are in diagonal. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm working on, that was row 8. So row 9 is the same way. Start with my contrast color. And do contrast main to the end. And what you'll start seeing at this point is I've got 2 blues stacked on top of each other, which is a little bit hard to see because I'm using a gray mat and I've got a bright light above me. But you should start to see a pattern of 2 blues on top of each other. Okay, so again, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. Okay, so row 6 through row 9, I picked up a contrast, a main, a contrast, a main. Now for rows 10, 11, 12, and 13, I'm going to start with a main. So I'll do a main, a contrast, a main, a contrast. Then I'm just going to repeat the pattern doing 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to do 4 rows starting with the contrast, and then I'll do 10, 11, 12, 13, which is 4 rows starting with the main. So just repeat this pattern until you get the length of the bracelet that you need.